Hello guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Today I'm super mega excited to share the returning storyline of this amazing couple and also complicated couple, Lexi and Steph. But before we get into further details, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know your personal thoughts on this couple as well.
Head back to the hangar. I volunteered to restock all the flight bags.
The norm happens. We know what to do. That's why I'm such. Some people still wouldn't believe I could be a pilot.
So yes, basically SkyMed Season 3 is officially here and it is actually available to watch on a couple of streaming platforms. This one will actually include Paramount Plus and also Prime Video. If you guys don't know, the series follows the intense personal lives of the nurses and pilots flying an air ambulance in remote northern Canada. In this case, it's a medical drama. And let me tell you, it's very complicated for them, to basically try to manage their personal life with also, their professional life and also their emotions as well. So yes, to be honest, I would say that the series is pretty good. There's a reason why it got 3 seasons, and yes, the main focus of this video will to speak about their returning loves, complicated relationship between, in this case, Lexi and Steph. Just to recap a little bit on what happened between them, by season two. So basically in season two, you can see that Lexi and Steph at the beginning, they were just like basically hooking up with one another. They had feelings for one another, but it wasn't until the end of the season where they have decided to make things, official between them, because it came to a point where they realized, that they basically should give their feelings for one another a chance. And that's exactly what happened after a complicated season, just to try to figure out and respecting, each other's personal space. And once at the end of the season, they was like, hey, let's do this, let's make it official. And this is exactly what happened. So basically at the beginning of season 3, you can see that the two are quite cute, romantic with one another. They have a very communicative type of relationship. They're always there to support one another. Obviously they work together, so they spend every single day, all day together, and they also live together. So they're very much in each other's space all time, so 24/7. But when does things start to switch up between them, when does things start to get a little bit more out of the norm for them, is when Steph actually goes through a very traumatic experience where they lost one of the crew members due a situation that Steph basically felt guilty with, because she was supposed to be on that run with the guy, with the ambulance, but she decided to call it off because of other reasons. So while she called it off, the guy went alone and he got into an accident and unfortunately lost his life. So somewhere, somehow, Steph, she carries this guilt with her, because she felt like if she was there, that probably wouldn't have happened and the guy would have been, in this case, alive. So she's still grieving, and at the same time, you can see that in this case, Lexi is trying to be there for her as much as she can, just telling her it's not your fault. You don't need to carry this guilt around. Like you should let it go and forgive yourself because it's not your fault. But for Steph, it's very difficult, it's very difficult for her just to let it go. It's very difficult for her to move on. And, while she was going through this grieving and emotional turbulence, you can also see that there came another situation also involving Steph, where she have decided to go on this new route and basically become more active, as, a paramedic nurse. And not only that, also, working in the ambulance more frequently. So she starts to get way more attached to her patients, and that is something that actually ends up ruining her emotionally after losing, one of the crew members, where she was still, feeling guilty of, now every time she was on a mission saving lives, some way, somehow she couldn't let the patients go, some way, somehow she always needed to keep a tab on them, make sure they are okay, just being very over obsessive with her patients, because she's afraid she's gonna lose more people, and she doesn't want to feel guilty again for somebody, losing their lives over her. So Lexi's like, hey, you cannot do this. You're not supposed to keep tab on the people that you save. That you can get in serious trouble by basically going after people. And obviously, Steph is like, yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. But she still keeps on doing it. And that's just putting her in an emotional turbulence even more. So there came actually a point where things just went to a whole nother level, where in this case, Steph, she saved a patient and she started to keep tab on this specific patient and actually started to build a close relationship with this patient by lying about her identity. Obviously later on, Lexi found out about it and she was like, hey, you need to stop, you need to start getting help, because this is not okay. Like, you need to heal, you need to let people be, you cannot be so over obsessive about this. But obviously, this, Steph, she's stuck in her own ways. She just doesn't want to let Lexi to be there for her. On the other hand, Lexi is also going through her own situation because, she is facing her challenges, improving herself as a pilot, and also possibly becoming captain. And now also is being the best girlfriend she can be for Steph. So she also has her own situations going on. And later on, you can see that, Steph, she got into a situation where she was defending Steph. She actually ended up getting hospitalized. So while they was hospitalized, Lexi was like, hey, you need to get help. It's not okay what you are doing. You are mentally, like, emotionally harming yourself even more. And then later on, obviously, Lexi got into an accident. And obviously, that also broke, like, that actually also very, very much broke, Steph, because she was in the hospital recovering from her injury and knowing that Lexi was also in trouble, that she couldn't be there to help her. She just emotionally lost full control. And obviously, after Lexi got out of trouble, she went to the hospital running just to go and seek for Steph. And that's where she actually told, Lexi, Steph in this case told Lexi, like, hey, I don't want you to work as a pilot no more. I can bear losing you, I don't want you to be in risk. I can live with you always putting yourself in risk. And Lexi was like, hey, wait, what a minute. I love my job. I love you. But, if I have to choose between you and my job, I will choose my job. You don't get to decide what what's gonna hand what is gonna go on with my life and how I should handle my situations, or just to dictate me because you are going through this emotional, situation. Yes, I get it, but you need to seek help and seek treatment. It's not right what you are doing. And you basically, Steph is just stuck in her own ways, like, hey, no, I can see you lose yourself, you putting yourself in danger all the time. To, like, you can basically, moral of the story, to make a long story short, you can just see that Steph is stuck in this bubble where she needs help and she is denying herself to get help because of this bowl that she is of emotions and guilt that she is feeling, To be honest, I haven't finished watching the series yet. I still have a couple of episodes left to watch, but I will definitely go ahead to see how things end up between them, because at the last episode I watched, I can see that Lexi stormed out crying from the hospital, where she basically just told, like, Lexi, hey, if this is what it's gonna be, then I'd rather not be here. So I will have to see if they come back, if they reconnect, if Steph will finally go ahead and go get the help she needs. Will Lexi forgive Steph for her ways and to be stuck in her own ways? So there's a lot that still has to be unveiled, and there's still a lot of answers that I do need. But so far, once again, it's called SkyMed, and you guys can go ahead and go watch it on Paramount Plus and Prime Video as well. And it's definitely delivering what it's supposed to deliver. Let me tell you guys, I am enjoying it. Obviously, I had to forward a little bit here and there just to get to their scenes, because that's the reason why I watched the show. But I really do appreciate the writers for giving their relationship more camera time, first and foremost, and actually making this storyline very important. So that's also something very good. So yes, guys, thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys have watched it, please go ahead and drop your own personal opinion down below in the comments. It's very important. And I see you guys again at the next video, and goodbye.